Paying $500 a month or even more on your car loan? That's $6,000 or more a year, getting you zero rewards. Until now, the Fasten Rewards Visa card gives you 3 times points on any auto lease or loan payments. Yes, your actual loan payments. Plus 4 times at Fasten Partners and 3 times on all auto spending. Finally, a card built for how drivers actually spend money. And here's the best part. Fasten was founded by a fellow Husky who understands what it takes to win, whether that's on the court, field, or with your wallet. Redeem for travel, cash, gift cards, or your next down payment. Apply at fasten.cc/apply and start stacking rewards on every payment. The Fasten Rewards Visa card is powered by Hino and issued by Celtic Bank pursuant to a license by Visa USA Inc. All cards are subject to credit approval. Terms and conditions apply. Rewards are subject to change. Visit fasten.cc/legal for full program details. We're back here another week talking with Joe, coming off a game against Rice and with UAB here in the wing. So, Joe, thanks again for hopping on.
Thanks for having me, Jared.
Yeah, I know a lot to talk about, obviously, coming out of the Rice game. We got some good, got some not as great. We'll get through it all, but let's start off with the good stuff. I mean, first play of the game on offense, I think it was you hit Skylar for that big touchdown. Is that the first time you've thrown first play of the game for a touchdown?
Uh, I don't know. That's a good question. I think so. Yeah, I think. Yeah, we'll go with yeah. But it's a good route by Skylar, great protection. Kind of got the defense that we wanted, and just were able to execute.
Yeah, I mean, I think it took all of 9 seconds that first drive there. It seemed like from that it seemed like hey maybe things are gonna come easily, click pretty quickly. I mean, the first half though, especially offensively, I mean, you 18 for 23, 251, 3 touchdowns. What was working well for you in the offense in that first half on Saturday?
Um, I mean, a lot, I guess, in the first half. I think we had you always come in with your scripted plays in the first few, and then we were able to execute that. We wanted to big emphasis was to start fast. Um, and we were able to do that with them being we knew that they were more of a run option team, so we thought able to jump out ahead early, kind of forced them to play left-handed. Unfortunately, we just weren't able to kind of sustain that momentum going into the second half. um, you know had some good things in the game, no doubt, just not enough to win the game, obviously.
Yeah, second half. What were kind of the things that made the offense, slow down a bit in that second half? Any adjustments they'd made that maybe threw you guys a little bit off there.
um they didn't show us anything that we hadn't seen before, I don't think. For in film study, I should
Yeah.
say. I feel like we had a pretty good grasp what they were going to do. It was really focused on, you know, what what we didn't do as well. We had a couple, just miscommunications, or just lack of attention to detail in some things on my part as well. No doubt, I got to play better there. Um, just some misses, and that happens in a game, but we got to be able to bounce back and move forward.
Yeah, I know it's a tough one, especially coming off the big win against BC. How do you kind of you and the team work on bouncing back now, coming back from that Rice game as you head into UAB this week?
Well, I mean, we've been in this position before. Had those two tough losses there in the beginning of the year, and a lot of people thought maybe we weren't be able to bounce back from two overtime losses in a row, and we were able to go on a run there, and now we're looking to do the same. But we're looking to go 1-0. The team's confident because we've done it before. So now we're just solely focused on UAB.
Yeah, I know, all three losses, it's crazy, have come in overtime. I mean, college football overtime in general is one of the crazier overtime sports. I feel like what makes it so tricky?
Um, I guess what made it's kind of a different. You're starting right there in the red zone, so your call sheet kind of shrinks right away. You don't have those open field plays that you would have in a normal drive, obviously. So you're getting right to your red zone calls. And then if if it's a high scoring game and you've been there a lot, maybe you've called those plays already, and now you're trying to recycle those or whatnot. But and then going for two in the second overtime. We haven't gotten to that point, but just there's just little things that you think about are that can pop up that that can make it a little tricky. But we just gotta be able to finish some of those games, and now we're just looking to start that winning streak again now.
I feel like this year you've had pretty good football weather until, second half of that game on Saturday. How much does it change things when the rain really starts coming down like it did?
Um, not as much as people think.
Okay.
People will like to, make it a big deal, but it's really not. The biggest thing is, sometimes it can be wind, and I played at University of Maine, so I didn't have a good weather game for for 3 years. So playing in bad weather, especially a Northeast team, you're practicing that all year long, and
Yeah.
weather's just another element that adds to the game, but it usually typically doesn't have that much of an effect.
Yeah. So as you go about getting ready for UAB this week, what are kind of some of the goals that you and the offensive side of things are working on heading into this matchup?
Um, no, it's the same as every other week, kind of expand on what we did well, and then try to fix the things that we didn't. And red zone touchdowns got to happen. A lot of that's kind of in overtime. Those couple losses there where we weren't able to get a touchdown in the red zone.
Yeah.
And then I think another one is, if we get in good field position, taking advantage of that. If we start in plus field, we don't want just a field goal. We gotta be able to put 7 points on the board because that can make the difference, obviously, because we've had three losses now that have ended in regulation. Um, and I think both those game or all three of those games that we've had field goals. If we have just touchdowns there, that could be the difference.
Yeah. What do you think are some of the keys to getting and being a little bit more successful in those red zone
Um, a lot of it I think is just staying focused. Sometimes when you get down, you've done the hardest part, you think, but now it's just punching it in and finishing. We just gotta have that mindset of finish. And there are some things that switch up in the red zone. It gets more compact, it's more
Yeah.
restricted. So you just have to be that much more precise in the pass game and in the run game. But I got confidence that we're going to be able to do that. We have done it. We scored touchdowns. It's just how do we find a way to score more touchdowns?
Yeah, yeah, no, I get that. It's got to be nice coming home now, and after a long trip to Houston, there now getting to come home, and you get to sleep in your own bed for a few weeks in a row here.
Yeah, no doubt. Always good to be back. We got three in a row. Um, Obviously not trying to look ahead, trying to go 1-0, but should be fun.
Yeah, any insight into? I know it's early in the week here, but any insight into UAB just early on in what you've seen?
Um, they're coming off a really big win. Well, excuse me, they're coming off a bye, but
Yeah,
off a big win into the bye, beating a ranked team at home. So they've got a lot of momentum. It's a confident team that we're playing. They fly around. So we gotta, play our best brand of football to try to get a win.
yeah, awesome. Well, Joe, I really appreciate it. Best of luck this week against UAB. Get that win streak back going as you get ready to talk to you heading into Duke. So thanks so much and good luck this week.
Thanks, Jay. Appreciate it.